Good evening, everyone. I, Shami Pruthi, welcome you all on behalf of Anand Global Foundation for the final presentation session for the 3 weeks internship program offered by Anand. I'm sure all the interns must have had their best efforts in these 3 weeks training program and had an extraordinary experience while working on their topics. I welcome our jury members, Major Dr. Meeta Singh. Welcome you, ma'am. So, Major Dr. Meeta Singh has been working towards the upliftment of the girl child in Rajasthan for 18 years with at least 3 out of 33 districts showing improvement. She has also worked on several issues combating violence against women, legal literacy, health, and health policies. Dr. Singh serves on various committees of NGOs and the government, including the Committee to Update and Revise the Rajasthan State Policy for Women 2015. She has been honored with several awards, including the Outstanding Woman Award for the National Commission for Women, Government of India. Welcome, ma'am, to the show. Now, I would also like to introduce Dr. Namita Sharma. Dr. Namita is a dynamic administrator and head of school with over 24 years of teaching and 14 years of administrative experience in senior secondary schools of high repute of New Delhi and Haryana. She has been one of the CBSE inspection committee members for Accord of Affiliation and performed the responsibility as center superintendent. Welcome you, ma'am, and I thank both the jury members for their valuable time. Now, today we have with us Team Be the Best Version of Yourself with us, and who will be sharing their ideas on the topic boosting your self confidence. The team is being mentored by Dr. Mr. Puneet Arora, and the team members include Neha Prasad from Chhattisgarh, Anushka Rungta from Gujarat, Jai Peswani from Madhya Pradesh, Vijay Chandel again from Chhattisgarh, and Vishakha Bavhale from Maharashtra. Now I request the team to please come forward and kindly start the presentation. Thank you, team. Please take over.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, okay. Thank you, Shami ma'am, for such a lovely introduction. Good evening, respected jury members, fellow NN management team, and my dear team members. At the risk of sounding cliched, I would like to say the last 20 days have been absolutely exciting, and it has been a very unique experience for me, and I'm sure all our team members would concur with me. It was simply great working with this bunch of talented young folks spread across all over India. So without further ado, here are the names of our team members: Anushka Rumta, Vishakha, Jay Peswani, Neha, and Vijay Chandel. Over to you guys.
Thank you, sir. Anushka, why we has mentioned Caldebra here? What is that means?
All right. So, Vishakha, have you studied algebra before in your school?
Yes, Anushka.
Great. So, today we are going to study a new form of algebra, which is known as Caldebra, the algebra of self confidence. And we'll be disclosing the same at the end of our presentation.
Exactly. So I think all of you are excited for the same. Well, why are we a team? Because together we can achieve more. So here with my team be the best version of yourself, move ahead. Well, Anushka, I'm able to remember something from Bhagavad Gita. Are you able to get what's in my mind?
All right. So, you're talking about self confidence and its roots from the ancient times. So here it is. Self-confidence has its roots embedded since the ancient times. And this particular slide has been taken from the Arjun Vishad Yoga, where he is in a dilemma of how to fight with his own relatives and elders. Lord Krishna then gives him the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that he is just doing his karma and that he is on the side of dharma. So according to this slide, the message that we are trying to convey is self-confidence requires knowledge. The next story is of an inspiring 100 shooter called Karoli Takis. He was a person in the Hungarian army and he had lost his right hand due to an incident that happened in the army training. Karoli teaches us that even if you go through a lot of ups and downs in life, you need not get disheartened. Courage and self-esteem is something that boosts up your self-confidence. And he won 2 Olympic gold medals as well.
That was so inspiring.
Yeah, that was. So confidence is ultimately something that inspires us to overcome these fears in the face of uncertainty. And the most apt example over here is the Battle of Saragari, wherein 21 soldiers of the 36th Regiment had fought about more than 10,000 Afghan soldiers and had killed about more than 600 of them before perishing to enemy bullets. We always say that I can't do it. Rather, we should say that I can do it, and we should be confident about ourselves.
Anushka, it's so interesting to know about so many new things. I didn't know that self-confidence is correlated to so many other life skills as well.
Yes, Jay, confidence is the key to success. Confidence is something that some people are born with, and some may have to work for it. And self confidence is not independent, it is something that is interdependent on various other core attributes, such as skill, knowledge, determination, thought, resources, and much more.
Thank you, Anushka, for explaining the basis concept of self-confidence. But I had a question.
Yes, Jay?
I understood the basic concept of what self-confidence is. As you said, self-confidence is related to a lot of other topics, but how can you relate self-confidence to psychology?
That's a really interesting question, Jay. So I would now like to hand over it to Vijay to explain the relation of psychology with self-confidence. Over to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Anushka. Well, as you can see on the screen, that we just don't have psychology, but we have biology as well as sociology over there. So biopsychosocial model is a very interesting and very worthy concept in the field of psychology. To understand any attribute, be it psychological or biological, we take the help of this model. First, we're going to look into biological factors, and the first is genetics. So have you heard of the term genes? Well, they are 35 to 40% responsible for the initial level of IQ, self optimism, self reliance, self confidence, and other psychological attributes. Research studies have proven the same. So it is very important.
The next factor is diet and health. Diet and health is equally important to boost up your self-confidence. We say a complete diet is something which includes fats, proteins, carbohydrates, and all the required nutrients. So if a person gets his complete diet and is healthy enough, then he feels self-motivated and feels self-confident.
Exactly. So other are puberty, sex and gender, and aging and maturation. They are also important when we consider the level of self-confidence. The next branch is psychological. So personality, OCEAN. These are the five major domains of personality. And surprisingly, all of them have different type and different level of self-confidence. Self-esteem is the second one, which is how much you value yourself, and the others are perception, learning abilities, the type of thoughts you have, the level of stress you possess, motivation, and all other things. Well, these were psychological factors of self-confidence. Let us move to the next domain, which is social factors. Whom are you living with? The first is experiences. So have you experienced to be on stage previously? If you have, then you would not be less self-confident if I say you currently. So experiences does matter. Economic status, lifestyle, your religious beliefs, ethics, peer tendencies, all of those are important. Anushka, can you explain me how education is important?
Sure, Vijay. So, as you said about life experiences, education is equally important factor. Education and peer tendencies are somewhat correlated to each other. If we look at this 21st century, in school curriculum, we are actually being taught rote learning and we are not being taught the practical knowledge. So even pure tendencies influences your self-confidence. You get influenced by your classmates, you get influenced by people around you, you get influenced by your friends. And so education and pure tendencies plays a very important role in boosting up your self-confidence as well as in making you feel low self-confident.
Exactly. And the next is family relation. Well, let me tell you that research studies have shown self-esteem is directly related to how good you have bonds with your family members. Do they appreciate you? Do they encourage you? Do they support you? All of these are very important in the childhood times. So those were the three branches we looked for self-confidence at. Now let us look the hierarchy of self-confidence, which is types. First is the lowest, second is the best and optimal one, and third is the over one. Low confidence, low self-confidence, it basically means that I will feel inferior to others. I would hide from everyone. So one of the example is, how would I go to mall all alone? But I truly wish to, and the graphic clearly shows it. The next is optimal self-confidence, and the graphic is really powerful, which means to be firm and have high self-esteem. I should be assertive here, and yes, I should. The next is overconfidence. Well, that meter is really triggering, but yes, it is absolutely correct, which means that I will avoid all the possibilities and I will take over a chauvinistic role of myself, which is, how dare you correct me? I have done it always right and I know it. This is where I'm crossing the boundary of my self confidence and being overconfident.
Vijay, have you ever thought how the graph of self-confidence and performance would look like?
Yes, in fact, I have brought it here. So for this, I call upon Vishaka.
Thanks, Vijay. See in this graph, both confidence and overconfidence deal with being self-assured and motivated. Confidence is having healthy level of self-belief, which often pays for success, and overconfidence is having an excessive level of self-belief, which leads to failure. So that we have to maintain at our optimal self-confidence level. The optimal confidence levels pointed in the graph, this is the most desirable thing that we all should be try for to be successful in our life. For the next set of slides, over to you, Jay.
So now we'll be talking about how low self-confidence leads to low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is when someone lacks confidence about who they are and what they can do. They often feel incomplete, unloved, or inadequate. People who have low self-confidence are constantly afraid of making mistakes or letting other people down. Having confidence issue can be detrimental to your health or your and negatively affect your personal and professional relationship. As we already know, there are many reasons why you may have low self-esteem or low self-esteem, your genes, how and where you grew up, and other life circumstances. So let's watch a video how a low self-confident person looks in real life.
Do you worry a lot about people judging you? Or maybe you put a brave face and are nervous on the inside? Or you just avoid attention to yourself? Or maybe you get defensive when criticism approaches you? Or you are indecisive? Well, let us look into 5 signs you suffer from lack of self confidence. First is having a poor posture. A lot many things can be decided about how you stand and how your posture is. And a good posture means you're confident, and a bad one definitely means you lack the self confidence. The second is you don't go out alone. That is, you always find someone to be with you. You do not have enough self-confidence to represent yourself in front of people, and if you do, you get anxiety. The third is you have problems in being assertive to others. You suffer to say no to people when they seek your help, but you are busy in that case. You have problem in balancing the seesaw. Fourth is about seeking validation. You look for how many likes did you get. You look for appreciation from other people, or at least that one person who would appreciate you, or you get sad and your confidence is reduced. The fifth is not prioritizing self care. Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? People with low confidence often are low in daily life activities and keeping themselves fresh and updated.
Well, there ends the video. But for a moment, if we say that all of these signs we overcame and we are self confident, but then there would be a question which is called as doubt. the level of self-confidence. And to explain you the same, I have brought this beautiful diagram. Are you able to see a circle? You would probably say yes, but I would say no because it has so many holes. The space is in pink color, which makes it an incomplete circle. At the center, you can see we have I am not good enough. May I know your answer? But before knowing that, understand that being self-confident involves four main branch. The first is technique, second is the strategy, third is the physical preparation, and fourth is mental toughness. I do understand that not all of us are having equal parts of the same and are very good in all of the four categories. But wherever you have your weaknesses in, it is to overcome and not to make an opportunity to doubt yourself. Am I right? I think I definitely am. All these arrows in purple and questions in blue, which is, will I make it? Can I do it? Am I ready? All these are types of doubt you get when you have better greener part of the circle. So will you be able to make a complete circle, overcome the weaknesses you have and reach to the core, which is I am good enough? Well, we learned a lot about this, but let us look into what people has to say about their self-confidence. Neha, can you please elaborate this part?
Yes, Vijay, thank you. So, here I will be talking about the first few question responses which we obtained through the survey. So, here we got total 206 responses, out of which 64.1% were female and 35% were male. Maximum responses were received from 18 to 20 years of age. In the first survey question, it is related to purview of self-confidence. Maximum respondents felt that self-belief is the most important aspect, which says belief in yourself to accomplish any goal. In second survey questions, where we were asking the importance of looks and physical attributes in a public gathering. If we combine the values of rarely and sometimes, it comes out to be 57%. If we combine that signifies if see that today's youth as well as experienced people aspect suggests a positive sign and they are self-confident. In third survey question, we see that 57% of people are does not feel hesitant about asking for help. Again, it is a very positive sign, and majority of the population were confident. Now over to Jay.
In the fourth survey question, we can see how important is self-confidence. So as you can see in the pie chart that 49.5%, which is completely 50% people said that self-confidence is the most important human attribute or life skill. And 47.1%, which is again around 48% people said that it is important, but honesty, integrity, and education also matters. So we can see that here people have quite controversial opinion about how important self-confidence is. And we can see directly 1:1 fight between those two options, which we have said. Now, fifth question is, how do you know that you are feeling low self-confidence or anxious? So you can see that the purple shaded part, which is almost 32% people said that they hardly experience the same as am a confident person, and 21.8% people said that all of the above, which is sweating in hands to start tremble and stammering and stuttering, all those things are important or considered when they are feeling low self-confidence. So I think we need to ask our psychologists to work on these areas and bring us with more content that can make us all not go into these part of the same. So the next, which is sixth question, we can say that how to increase self-confidence or how is money important is the question. And for that, I give it to the Vishaka.
Thanks, Vijay. We have seen in our seventh survey question, 39% people feel low when someone criticizes them. But the positive thing about these 39% people is that they move on. And the 30% people, they take it as a positive feedback and an opportunity. And the interesting thing about 80% people, they don't care and they think they are not here to please anyone. And 12% people feel low when someone criticizes them. And the 11% people feel low when someone praise them.
Okay, so I think she has some technical glitches. So let me go ahead with the same. So in the seventh question, it was about how do you feel when someone criticizes you? And Vishaka was mentioning about 12.6% people, which is they feel devastated and very low, which is something that needs to be covered. But here, a good observation that we can take up from this question is that almost 40% people said that they feel low for some time and they move on. Can you get the last word, which is move on? And that is a very important thing. Also, my friend Vishaka missed up the sixth question, which was about 63.6% people said that life experience of dealing with problems matters more. And around 30% people, which is to go exact 29.1%, they said that education and interpersonal skills matter more. But the question here that I am coming up with is really our education system providing us the skills or self-confidence classes? That is a very important thing. And this question has a very good surprising thing which we are going to bring up at the end of this survey analysis. The eighth question is, what are the best ways to improve self-confidence? Coming to the major question. So you can see the red part, which is aiming for small achievements and then practicing it for bigger goals. Almost 73% people said that small achievements are the first go to go when we want to increase self confidence. And for 15% said that reading positive books, watching motivational videos are going to help them. And 11% people said that if you are around self confident people, you would be able to increase your self confidence. Can you get the major aspect or the major observation of the same? Aiming for small achievement and then practicing, which is very important. Go for a small chance, go for small opportunities, and you would be able to increase your self-confidence. What can I say in one line out of this complete observation? Confidence begets confidence. And for the ninth question, I give it to Anushka.
Thank you, Vijay. So the ninth question states that whether they compare themselves with others, and according to the response that we got, we could see that around 49.5% people say that sometimes, especially when they are with people of the same profession or with the same group, they do compare themselves. Whereas 25.2% people said that not at all, they never compare themselves and that God has made them unique. Next question. Yeah. So for the 10th question, we asked them whether they feel overconfident or not. And the response that we got as maximum was only when they are given a task, which they have done multiple times, they tend to become overconfident. And around 8.7% people said that very often they do feel overconfident. The 11th question says that whom do they look upon to as the role model for inspiration and to boost up their self-confidence? And 37.9% people said that they look upon to their parents for boosting up the self-confidence. They look upon their parents as an inspiration, as the role model, which motivates them to do things further. The 12th question was to ask them whether how can they distinguish a low self-confident person from a high one. The options that we had given them here was by the way of walking and talking, by the way of dressing up, by the ability to take sound decisions, or all of the above. And 46.1% people said all of the above. They feel that all of the above given options are equally important to distinguish a person who is having a low self-confidence from the high one. The 13th question was to ask them whether they struggle to make decisions or do they struggle to stand by themselves. And 51.5%, that is almost half of the responses, said that they sometimes feel difficult to stand by themselves. They sometimes struggle to make decisions on their own. For the next set of questions, I would like to hand it over to Vijay.
So the major word that I want you all to highlight out of this question is self-affirmation practice and positive talk. Well, you can see in the complete graph that almost 50% people said that they practice it sometimes, and 30% people, around 30% people said that they do it always, which is a very good sign. And I and my colleagues weren't expecting 30% people already practice self-affirmations, because it is somewhat believed that those are not going to work and you should actually take up action for any issue that you're facing. But as you can see that 13.6% people, which we can consider around 15%, they said that it sounds exciting to them and they want to learn more about it. So it sounds exciting, but want to learn more about it. Let's have a look at it again, but not now. We'll be having it a little later. So in this question, this is self-affirmation, which is a very important part, and we'll be having a video on the same. Now, the pivot chart that I already mentioned when we were discussing sixth question, it is that you can see the three options. The first is money is the most important possession. Second is life experiences of dealing with problems. And third is education and interpersonal skills. Now, the question that we gave to them was how important it is to be a rich person for being confident. So you can see in all the age brackets, the answer that got most of the responses was life experiences of dealing with problems matter more when it comes to increasing self-confidence or the level of self-confidence. But the surprising fact out of all these responses are 12 to 18 age category and 18 to 25 age category. You can see that life experiences are most important when it comes to self-confidence as per them too, which we were expecting not to get responses from them, because they are the ones who are less experienced, less matured, and knows less about life and its problems. So this was the very important observation that we could get from the pivot chart. Well, we have learned a lot, but now come to the major question: how to increase self-confidence? And for that, I think we have Vishaka here. So Vishaka, can you please take over for this part?
Yes, thank you, Vijay. We have discussed about low self-confident person and high self-confident person, and we also seen the survey analysis. So it's now time to talk about tips and ways to boost self-confidence. Jay, why not let's jump into the topic?
Yes, sure. So we have 7 points. First is stand or sit in the posture of confidence. Second is practice presence. Third, build your capacity for energy. Fourth, exercise regularly. Fifth, clarify your goals. Sixth, speak well to yourself. Seventh, try to recondition the way you think about your life. So here is the first one. Stand or sit in the posture of confidence. When you sit or stand straight, you can actually change the way you feel about yourself. In fact, you will feel more powerful.
Jay, are you talking about power pose?
Yes, that's correct. That's the message your brain gets. For looking powerful and confident, you should maintain eye contact while conversation.
What about hand gestures?
You can learn to move your palm positively with more confidence. A good gesture to adopt is one that shows openness. Your hand should be open, wrist should go upward, palm should face the other person.
This was good, but don't forget that one need to work on his mind too.
Absolutely correct, Vishaka. Go ahead.
And the next step is to practice presence. It's a proven way to have significant benefit for both physical and psychological well-being.
But how to do it?
Pretty simple. Just be aware of your thoughts, your body, observe your breath, observe everything you see around yourself. This will allow you to connect with inner self, and just remember, go with the flow, which means living in the present and not worrying too much about the future. Just keep doing the karma and enjoy the journey of life. Schedule your life basically means making life more organized, disciplined, and adding a timetable. Clarity in goal, thoughts, and actions automatically brings confidence.
Wow, Vishaka, this was an eye opener. And now another one is to build our energies. A bit of stress can be used to keep us alert and give that extra energy needed to perform.
Yes, in knowing how to engage with your feeling in your body will expand your presence rather than striking it down.
Absolutely correct.
And the next one is exercise.
Sorry, Vishaka, I need to to take this one from you. You know it's my favorite.
Okay, Jay, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, it's exercise regularly. There are plenty of studies that tell us enormous benefits of exercises, but it has a powerful benefit on building confidence too. Regular exercise release endorphins, which react with receptors in brain. And this release of receptors stimulate our brain. In return, we feel more positive and motivated. So yes, exercise will help you to look better, feel healthier, and motivated in act to way builds your self-confidence.
Fantastic. Clarifying a goal will help us to get more self-confidence.
Yes, as it's a second topic, tell us more about it.
When you reach a step near your final goal, you automatically feel confident.
So how this is gonna help us to boost our self-confidence?
When you have a particular goal in your mind, you will work towards it, and every successful step taken toward it acts as a booster. Remember that famous quote we learned in a childhood? Confidence begets confidence.
Okay, got it. And it will make us happy also.
Absolutely correct. Another point is speak well to yourself. Always remember there is no dearth of people around us who are doing the negative self talk to us. We should always talk positive with our own self. It's good to seek feedback, but always seeking approval or validations from outside is a trap for us.
Yes, we need to speak to ourselves with kind encouragement and some self-compassion. However, most important in our life is with ourselves.
And this will make a relationship a good one.
Yes. And the next one is try to recondition the way you think about your life.
Well, we all have ups and downs, and challenges are just part of our life. Remember the straight line in ECG means person is dead. So let's take obstacles as lessons which are there to just to bring best version of ourselves.
Overall, I would like to conclude we just have to go there, enjoy the journey of life. So, here are our 7 points to boost self-confidence. Now, Neha will discuss an interesting topic. Can self-confidence be taught as a skill?
Thank you, Jay. I will be talking about can self-confidence as a skill be taught. The easiest way to build self-confidence, there's no magic button. Repetition, 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 right? Magic? No. The problem with repetition is how many of us bail after the first bit of failure? How many of us bail after the first bit of adversity? Maybe it shouldn't be repetition. Maybe the answer should be persistence. So, there's one way to build self confidence. Get out there. Do what you want to do and do not accept no. The other one is self talk. We all have a self talk tape that plays in our head. We know for a fact that thoughts influence action. The next is positive interpretation. The most important thing for us to understand about positive interpretation is that looking the positive side in everything. We feel failures are nothing but just a stepping stone for success. I would like to recall that famous real life example from Einstein life. He said, I didn't discover 100 ways, 100 times. I just discovered those 100 ways where the bulb will not work. So the self-confidence comes from when we see the positive in everything and keep doing our karma without really worried about the results too much. So it takes time, practice, patience to train yourself. But when successful, it gives you confidence.
Exactly. So as she said that we need to practice the same thing. So here is how do we practice self-affirmation, which I already mentioned when I was talking about that survey question. So let us watch a video wherein I have practiced the same thing for almost 6 days. And how do I feel? I will be telling you after the video.
A lot many things can be created or eliminated from our lives by using the right set of words for ourselves. Today, I take action. Action to overcome the fear that I have. Today, I face my life head on. I have full trust in myself. I am my best source of motivation. I am 100% confident in myself. I am in control of my life. I go with the flow of life to succeed. Being motivated and positive is normal for me. I look for the appreciation I have got and be happy for the same. I am stronger than I seem. My personality always shines forth. I am positive being and aware of my potential. I choose to challenge myself for my growth and improvement. I choose to embrace the mystery of my life, and I am now confident.
Well, the video ends there, but the practices that I have shown and that I have did should never end if you have started it. Because I have done it for almost 6 days now, and I totally can say that I feel the difference in myself. Well, if for a moment we consider that yes, we are self-confident, or we consider that I want to increase my confidence level, but what are the advantages of it? How and why should I do this? Neha, can you please tell me that?
Yes, Vijay. So here the advantage of being self-confident are increased sense of self-worth, more happiness and joy in life, less fear and anxiety, freedom from social anxiety, more peace of mind and less stress, more energy and motivation to act, greater success. So, when we are self confident, we automatically have a high self esteem. So, here are the 10 benefits of high self esteem. You can be yourself, you accept disagreement, you can circulate your view when challenged, you accept new challenges, you do not fear uncertainty, you are more resilient, you do not need approval, it's okay to not know everything. You are more committed. You do not feel the need to be perfect. Here are the 10 truths confident people live. They know themselves and accept who they are.
They believe in themselves and have faith in their own abilities. They don't let negative self-talk enter their mind.
They challenge themselves and push themselves to grow.
They take control of their life, have a positive outlook, and are in a charge of their attitude.
They are comfortable in their own skin.
They don't fear life's challenges and obstacles. They are grateful for life's blessings.
They
They
don't
don't
seek
fear
out
life's challenges and obstacles.
they don't
Yes.
look seek outside validations. And
They
10th
surround
is
themselves
they
with
surround
people who
themselves with people who believes in them.
So those were the 10 rules, and I highly recommend you. In fact, team Be the Best Version highly recommend you to get these rules in your life as soon as possible. We learned a lot about self-confidence, right? But let us look into few stories of personalities whom we can directly learn how self-confidence is gonna help ourselves. A small boy, the fifth among seven siblings, was selling newspapers in a small village to earn his living. He was not exceptionally smart at school, but was fascinated by religion and rockets. You know, the first rocket he built crashed multiple times. The missiles he built crashed, but his confidence and get going spirit in him made him script the book a space odyssey of Indians single-handedly. Well, whom am I talking about? He is Dr. APJ Kalam, the beautiful person who is known as the scientist of India, the great scientist of India and missile man of India. The second story would be elaborated by Anushka. So is Anushka here?
Yeah, I'm here, Vijay. So the second story is about a school teacher scolded a boy for not paying attention in mathematics, for not being able to solve a simple problem, and said that he would not become anybody in life. But his mother's confidence in him made her teach him mathematics, and the boy went to become none other than the great scientist Albert Einstein.
That was literally beautiful. And the third story is about a gentleman. This gentleman invented a communication machine in 1876. It did not ring off the hook with calls from potential backers. After making a demonstration call, the President Rutherford Hayes, I repeat, the President Rutherford Hayes said, "It's an amazing invention, but who would ever want to see them in future?" Who were these words said to? These words were said to Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of phone. So those were the three stories we can get our inspiration from.
So I would like to share a small case study over here, which all of you present here would relate to. Though I'm not a very ardent fan of cricket, but as we're Indians first, the Indian inside me felt really proud of the historic win in which our Indian cricket team recently had in Australia. Coming from a humiliating 36 all-out defeat in the second test, the new captain Rahane had so much confidence in his team that braving all the injuries and personal setbacks, we came back with a bang. So again, this case study also proves my point that I used to say earlier, that self-confidence as a core human skill or attribute is so closely related with courage, determination, pride, and self-belief. This is a well-known quote that says, education must avoid self-confidence, the courage to depend on one's own strength. Nowadays, as I stated before, that students are more focusing on rote learning. The curriculum is focusing on rote learning. Through our presentation, we are trying to convey the message that the curriculum nowadays should include self-confidence as a practical output.
Anushka, can you now disclose what exactly Celdebra is? I'm really eager to know about it now after knowing so much about the self-confidence.
Sure, Vishaka. So S in Celdebra stands for self. Everything begins from you and everything ends at you. A is for acceptance.
That is self-acceptance.
L is for love.
That is self-love.
D is for determination.
That's self-determination.
E is for esteem.
That is self-esteem.
B is for belief.
That is self-belief.
R is for respect.
That is self-respect.
A is for assurance.
That is self-assurance.
And last but not the least, A is for admiration.
That's self-admiration.
Now that I am ready to give the test of Celdebra, are you all ready to give the test? Vishakha, are you ready?
Definitely, I'm ready as well. Vijay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to give the test of Celdebra. Jay, are you ready?
I am ready. Neha, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready as well.
That's
Yes.
great to know that all of you are ready. So now I would like to invite our mentor, Puneet sir, to say a few words.
Okay. Thank you, Anushka. When the list of topics were presented to us as a mentor, I had no doubts what to choose as self-confidence as a concept is very close to me. You know, right from the childhood, I was just focused on marks. Same thing continued in college, and in corporate world, the marks just got substituted with good appraisal rating. It actually took me 15 years and lots of gray hair to ultimately realize that self-confidence is the most important skill or asset we as human beings can have. And this is what I told all the young bright interns, that you should not wait for 15 years to realize this. And in fact, everyone after this 15-day journey should feel a newer version of themselves. Lastly, I feel if I'm able to make even 5% difference to their self-confidence, my efforts, I will say, will be fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. So finally, here are our team members for the last time: Anushka, Jay, Neha, Vijay, and Vishakha.
Thank you very much, team. Be the best version of yourself for this wonderful presentation. Now I would like to request Meeta ma'am to share her views regarding the presentation and move on with the question answer round.
Can you please stop sharing?
You know, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes,
Sham?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know, this was a very engaging presentation. It was something that touched the core of the heart, and more importantly, the teamwork was evident. This was a perfect team, taking cues from each other, and everyone contributed. Uh, I think the strength of this presentation lay in the excellent teamwork, and my compliments to the mentor and to the team members. There are a few questions. One is that the survey findings, I'm afraid, they could have been a little more crisp. You know, it was sort of disjointed, but they could have been more tight. And I think one of the things was that you mentioned was that you can circulate your views. You probably mean you can share your views better. So that's really, it could be just semantics, but I felt that it could have been a better choice. The other thing that I want to point out is, even though a lot of hard work has gone into it, but it's important when you make a presentation that the spellings of the words should be correct. Now, if you go back to your graph of self-confidence, diffidence has not been spelled correctly. So that's the only real small point that I have. But otherwise, it was extremely well done, very well researched, and the teamwork was excellent. Compliments and congratulations.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Namita ma'am, please share your views regarding the presentation, and you can also go ahead with any questions that you would like to ask them.
I must congratulate the team on the beautiful work they've done. And as ma'am mentioned, yes, we could very clearly see that how the life skill of sharing and working together and then filling in the gaps in between. I would compliment Vijay on it. He did a beautiful job. One point was skipped somewhere. And in such a smooth way, they picked up everything and they were filling each other's space. And that gave flow to the whole presentation. The entire set of slides, the movies, everything was very beautiful. Now, just to see what takeaways we all have got out of this entire presentation. The first question that I have is that you were mentioning that the biology of a person and then the social factors, they influence and they help in framing our self-confidence. What plays a better role, heredity or environment? Yes, team?
Okay. So I think I'm going first and my friends can follow up if they want to add up. So as ma'am, you put forward two major things in front of me, which is heredity and environment. So as we know, and we looked into all the three factors of the same, when we talk about biology or when we talk about heredity, it is more of the self-confidence level of initial years of an individual. That says it's gonna exist up to 5 years or 6 years, but when once a proper environment, that says a proper psychological treatment, psychological development has to be taken care by parents and teachers. And next, coming to the education, which will fall under the social category, that says our education curriculum should treat it as a skill and not something that no, that student is not that active, we should not take them, that student is active. No, it is the responsibility of our education that yes, that has to be done. Because self-affirmation video that I have made, I practiced it for 5 days. And I would be very honest here that I wrote that I'm stronger than I seem. And I totally felt after these days that yes, I think I'm having low self-esteem. I should increase it probably. So that would be my answer. And I would go with environment as a major thing, because let's focus on what we can change. Like we should be able to overcome our weakness, right? So that would be my answer.
Yes, that's a good answer because heredity gives us only the foundation or the base.
Exactly.
Building on it comes up, or the entire structure stands with the environment that we maybe our school gives, our education system gives, our parents give. So yes, environment plays a major role. Now, what is the relationship between self-confidence and criticism?
Okay.
So I would like to say that according to me, self-confidence and criticism is also closely related, because if a person, like for example, if we take the student at the school level, so if a student is self-confident that he's been given a particular task and that he's confident that yes, I'll be able to do it in the given time and with my best effort. But when someone criticizes that person that no, you won't be able to do that, and these are your weaknesses, rather than looking out on the positive points that the person has, they kind of point out to the negative points. So criticism actually leads to that person to that person gets into the low self-confidence zone and starts self-doubting that yeah, these are my weaknesses, how will I overcome them, and how would I actually overcome my low self-confidence zone, and how do I complete my task. So as we just said, that self-affirmation is something that helps you get out of that zone. So I would say that yes, it is closely related to each other.
Positively or negatively?
Um, it's in both ways, because like if it like more on the negative side, because criticism actually leads to low self-confidence according to me.
Why?
That is it.
Why? Should it not be taken as a challenge?
It should
Yeah, I
be
would
taken
like to add on to that. Someone takes criticism as an opportunity to show them that I can do this. So there are two things that we can conclude, that criticism can be positive or criticism can be negative. That's depend on the person's self-talk.
Yes. So it depends upon how you receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Positive
should we,
interpretation of that those criticism is important for the building our self-confidence.
therein affirmations come. If I am affirmative or positive, so I would take criticism also as a positive challenge.
Yes, but then if you
Yes.
are not positive about yourself, you will
Right.
be definitely to take
Then
criticism.
it goes negative. Then it goes
Yeah.
negative. Yes. Good. It was a
Also, I
job
would,
well done. Yes, Vita.
yeah. Also, I would like to add a thing, which is criticism is something that I think is not always from the surrounding. It is from like we do it ourselves. So let us replace the criticism concept with a very good concept in psychology, which is positive reinforcement, which is where we
Yes.
positively reinforce the individual, where a part of criticism exists, where a part of feedback exists, I should say, but it's a better way to construct any weaknesses that we have or to challenge any obstacle that we are facing. So that would be my words on that.
Wonderful. Very good.
Very good.
Thank you so much. And yes.
So good, Vijay. Means you rocked the show.
Yes.
You have taken away the gaps and everything. Like the way you were writing, showing that movie, that again and again writing. We always keep on saying, but the way you portray in the video, excellent. So we are now getting short of time. Other team is waiting. They are calling me. So
Before then that, can we all show up
yes,
this,
yes,
our
yes. That is what
hashtag?
I was thinking. Just show it. Too good.
Very, very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent.
Thank you, Jury. Thank you, Aarti. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for those kind
Thank you,
words.
Puneet. Too good.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
I think compliments to the mentor.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Excellent.
much for
Thank
your
you.
kind and inspiring words, ma'am. Once again, I would like to thank our jury members, mentors, and Team Annan for this delightful evening and your valuable time for this wonderful session. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.